September 3rd, 2012, Medellín, Colombia. An old woman walks out of a butcher shop carrying groceries, gray hair pulled back in a bun, reading glasses on a chain around her neck. She looks like any other grandmother in the neighborhood, harmless, invisible. Just another face in the afternoon crowd. She crosses the street slowly, carefully. Her knees aren't what they used to be. The bag of meat in her hand is heavy. She's thinking about dinner. Maybe her grandchildren will visit tonight. A motorcycle appears behind her. Two men, both wearing helmets with the visors down, no license plates. The engine revs once, twice. She doesn't even turn around. Two shots ring out through the quiet street. The old woman crumples to the pavement. The bag of meat falls from her hands. Blood begins to pool around her body, mixing with the groceries scattered across the sidewalk. People scream. Someone calls for help, but it's too late. The motorcycle is already gone. The woman bleeding out on that street corner wasn't just someone's grandmother. She was once the most dangerous woman in the world. She controlled a billion-dollar cocaine empire. She smuggled tons of pure Colombian cocaine into the United States. She ordered the murders of over 200 people, maybe 300, maybe more. Nobody knows the exact number. Husbands, lovers, business partners, rivals, innocent bystanders, even members of her own family. If you crossed Griselda Blanco, you died. Simple as that. They called her La Madrina, the Godmother, the Black Widow, the Cocaine Queen of Miami. At her peak in the early 1980s, she was making $80 million per month, not per year, per month. She invented drug smuggling techniques that cartels still use today. She turned Miami into a war zone, bodies in the streets, executions in broad daylight. The murder rate in South Florida exploded because of her. She was ruthless, paranoid, brilliant, and absolutely terrifying. Male drug lords like Pablo Escobar and El Chapo became legends. Their names are known worldwide. Movies, documentaries, books, they're almost romanticized in popular culture. But Griselda Blanco, most people have never heard of her, and the ones who have would rather forget. Maybe because we don't want to believe a woman could be that cruel, that calculating, that monstrous. But she was all of those things. And worse. This is her story. From the slums of Colombia to the penthouses of Miami. From poverty to unimaginable wealth. From a scared little girl to the most feared woman in the criminal underworld. This is the story of the Godmother, Cartagena, Colombia, February 15th, 1943. A baby girl is born in one of the poorest neighborhoods in the city. Her name is Griselda Blanco Restrepo. There's no father listed on the birth certificate. Her mother, Ana Lucia Restrepo, is an alcoholic who can barely take care of herself, let alone a child. Griselda's childhood is hell, pure and simple. They live in a one-room shack with no running water, no electricity, dirt floors, rats everywhere. Her mother beats her regularly, sometimes for misbehaving, sometimes for no reason at all, just because she's drunk and angry at the world. When Griselda is old enough to walk, her mother forces her out onto the streets to beg for money, a small child with big eyes asking strangers for coins. It works for a while. People feel sorry for her. They give her change, food, sometimes clothes. But Griselda learns something important during those early years. She learns that sympathy is temporary. She learns that people will give you scraps to feel better about themselves, but they'll never actually help you. She learns that if you want something in this world, you have to take it, by force if necessary. By age 9, Griselda isn't begging anymore. She's stealing, picking pockets in crowded markets, running small scams. She's smart, quick, fearless, and she's learning that there are no consequences if you don't get caught. When she's 11 years old, something happens that changes her forever. There's a wealthy family in Cartagena. Their son is about the same age as Griselda. He wears nice clothes, goes to a good school, has everything she doesn't. Griselda watches him, studies his routine, decides to kidnap him for ransom. She approaches him one afternoon after school, pretends to be lost, asks for help. The boy, naive and trusting, tries to assist her. She pulls a gun, a small pistol she stole from a drunk man weeks earlier. She tells the boy to come with her. Stay quiet, don't scream. But he panics. He tries to run, tries to yell for help. Griselda shoots him, right there in the street, in the face, point-blank range. The boy dies instantly. Griselda runs, disappears into the slums where police won't follow. She's 11 years old and she's just committed murder. Now, whether this story is completely true or embellished over time, historians aren't sure. Griselda herself told different versions of it throughout her life. Sometimes she claimed it happened, sometimes she denied it, sometimes she laughed when people asked, as if the truth didn't even matter. But one thing is absolutely certain. By her early teens, Griselda Blanco had already become comfortable with violence. She understood that killing someone was the ultimate form of control, the ultimate solution to any problem, and that lesson would define the rest of her life. By the time she's 14, Griselda moves to Medellín. The city is rough, dangerous, full of criminals and hustlers. It's perfect for someone like her. She fits right in. She's beautiful by now, dark hair, dark eyes, a body that turns heads. Men notice her, want her. And Griselda learns how to use that, how to manipulate, seduce, get what she wants. She meets a man named Carlos Trujillo. He's a small-time criminal, a forger, makes fake documents for people trying to leave Colombia or hide from the law. He's not particularly smart, not ambitious, but he's useful. Griselda marries him when she's just 15 years old, not out of love, out of convenience. She sees him as a stepping stone, a way to get deeper into the criminal world. They have 3 sons together, Dixon, Uber, Osvaldo. Griselda is a mother now, but motherhood doesn't soften her. If anything, it makes her more ruthless. She's not just surviving for herself anymore. She's building something, an empire, and nothing will stop her. Through Carlos, Griselda gets introduced to the cocaine trade. This is the 1960s. Cocaine is just starting to become popular in the United States. The market is small but growing rapidly. Colombian cartels are forming. Learning how to move product across borders, getting rich beyond imagination. At first, Griselda works as a low-level courier, a mule. She smuggles small amounts of cocaine hidden in her luggage or strapped to her body. It's dangerous work. If she gets caught, she goes to prison, maybe for life. But the money is incredible compared to anything she's ever made before. And Griselda is smarter than the men around her. She notices things they don't. She sees inefficiencies in the smuggling routes, weaknesses in the operations, opportunities being missed. She starts making suggestions, improvements. The men laugh at her at first. Who does this woman think she is? This is a man's business. She should shut up and do what she's told. But when her ideas work, when her methods prove more effective than theirs, the laughter stops. They start listening, respecting her, fearing her. By the early 1970s, Griselda realizes she's outgrown Colombia. The real money isn't in South America. It's in the United States, New York, Miami, Los Angeles. That's where the customers are, the addicts, the rich party kids who will pay anything for quality cocaine. So she makes a decision. She leaves Carlos behind, takes her 3 sons and moves to Queens, New York. She's in her late 20s now, a single mother in a foreign country, barely speaks English, has almost no connections, but she has ambition, intelligence, and an absolute refusal to fail. And that's when the Godmother is truly born. New York City, 1973. The city is changing, the economy is struggling, crime is rising, but in certain circles, certain neighborhoods, certain nightclubs, business is booming. Cocaine. It's the drug of choice for Wall Street executives, disco dancers, celebrities, artists, anyone who wants to feel alive. confident, invincible. The demand is insane, and the supply can't keep up. Griselda Blanco arrives in Queens with her 3 sons and less than $5,000 to her name. She rents a small apartment in a working-class neighborhood, keeps a low profile, doesn't draw attention to herself. She looks like any other immigrant mother trying to build a better life for her kids. She shops at local markets, goes to church on Sundays, smiles politely at neighbors. Nobody suspects she's a criminal. Nobody suspects she's about to become one of the most powerful drug lords in New York. Griselda immediately starts reaching out to her contacts in Colombia. She uses the connections she made through Carlos and her years in the cocaine trade. She offers Colombian suppliers something they've never had before: a woman with no criminal record in the United States, someone who can move freely without attracting DEA attention, someone smart enough to set up sophisticated smuggling operations. The Colombians are skeptical at first. They've worked with plenty of people who talked big and delivered nothing. But Griselda is different. She's serious, professional, and she has ideas. She starts small, a few kilos at a time. She tests different smuggling methods, different routes, different carriers, and this is where her genius shows. Most smugglers at the time are using obvious methods: hiding drugs in suitcases, swallowing condoms filled with cocaine, stuffing it into car panels. The DEA and customs agents know all these tricks. They catch people constantly. But Griselda thinks differently. She thinks about who customs agents least suspect, who they search the least, who they wave through without questions: pregnant women. She starts recruiting pregnant women from poor neighborhoods in Colombia, women who are desperate for money. She pays them $5,000 per trip, more money than they'd make in years. All they have to do is strap packages of cocaine to their bellies under maternity clothes and fly to New York. Who's going to suspect a pregnant woman? Who's going to ask her to lift her shirt at customs? It works perfectly, trip after trip, kilo after kilo. The cocaine flows into New York, and the money flows back to Colombia. But Griselda doesn't stop there. She recruits elderly people, sweet old ladies and grandfathers who look completely harmless. She recruits families traveling with children. She even uses the children themselves sometimes, small packages hidden in diaper bags or teddy bears. It's ruthless, exploitative, putting innocent people at risk. But Griselda doesn't care. This is business, and business is good. Within 2 years, she's moving hundreds of kilos per month. Her distribution network spreads across Queens, Manhattan, the Bronx. She supplies dealers who supply other dealers who supply users in every neighborhood. The money is pouring in, tens of thousands of dollars per week, then hundreds of thousands. Griselda buys nice clothes, jewelry, a better apartment. She sends her sons to good schools, spoils them with everything she never had as a child. But she also becomes paranoid, extremely paranoid. She knows what happens to people in this business who get comfortable, who trust the wrong person, who let their guard down for even a second. They disappear, they get arrested, they get killed. So Griselda establishes rules. Strict rules, and anyone who breaks them pays with their life. A dealer shorts her money, even a few $100s, dead. She sends enforcers to his house. They shoot him in front of his family. A courier talks too much at a party, mentions her name to the wrong person, dead, found in an alley with his throat cut. Someone disrespects her, looks at her wrong, questions her authority, dead. Griselda doesn't believe in warnings, doesn't believe in second chances. You cross her once and it's over. The fear she creates is intentional. It keeps people in line, makes them think twice before betraying her. She earns a reputation, a dark one. People start calling her the Black Widow, not just because she's deadly, but because her husbands and lovers keep dying, violently. Her first husband, Carlos, dies under mysterious circumstances back in Colombia, shot in a dispute that conveniently benefits Griselda's business interests. Her second husband, Alberto Bravo, becomes her partner in the New York operation. He helps her expand, handles distribution while she handles supply. They make millions together, but in 1975, Griselda suspects Alberto is stealing from her, skimming money off the top. She confronts him in a parking lot in Bogota. They argue, both pull guns. Griselda shoots him in the face, kills him instantly. She's shot multiple times herself, wounded, but she survives. This is who Griselda Blanco is. She'll kill her own husband without hesitation if he betrays her. Money is sacred. Loyalty is sacred. Everything else is negotiable. By the late 1970s, law enforcement is starting to notice her. The NYPD, the DEA. They don't know her name yet. Don't know what she looks like, but they know something big is happening. They're seeing more cocaine on the streets than ever before. Better quality, more consistent supply. They know someone is running a major operation. They just don't know it's a woman. Griselda realizes it's time to move again. New York is getting too hot, too much attention. She needs a new base of operations. Somewhere the cocaine market is exploding, but law enforcement is less organized. She needs Miami, Florida. The city is transforming. Cuban refugees are flooding in after the Mariel boat lift. The population is exploding. Culture is shifting. And beneath the surface, the drug trade is about to turn Miami into the most dangerous city in America. Colombian cartels are fighting for control. The Medellín cartel, the Cali cartel, independent operators. Everyone wants a piece of the Miami cocaine market because Miami is the gateway to the entire United States. When Griselda Blanco arrives, she immediately sees the chaos, the disorganization, the opportunity. These Colombian cowboys are fighting each other, killing each other, drawing massive attention from police. They're sloppy, emotional, stupid. Griselda is none of those things. She sets up operations quietly at first, rents a house in an upscale neighborhood, uses fake names, pays cash for everything. She reconnects with her suppliers in Colombia and establishes new smuggling routes through the Caribbean into South Florida. Within months, she's moving tons of cocaine, not kilos, tons. Her operation dwarfs most of the other cartels in Miami. She's making more money in a month than most people make in a lifetime. But Griselda doesn't just want money this time. She wants power, respect, fear. She wants everyone in Miami to know her name, know that she's in charge, know that crossing her means death. And in Miami in the late 1970s, respect means violence, spectacular violence. July 11th, 1979, Dadeland Mall. It's a Saturday afternoon. The mall is packed, families shopping, kids eating ice cream, teenagers hanging out, just a normal summer day. Two men walk into Crown Liquors, a store inside the mall. They're wearing bulletproof vests under their jackets. They're carrying MAC-10 submachine guns, automatic weapons capable of firing 30 rounds in seconds. Their target is a man named German Jimenez Paneso. He's a rival cocaine dealer, someone who disrespected Griselda, refused to pay tribute, thought he could operate in her territory without consequences. Big mistake. The two hitmen walk up to German and his bodyguard. They don't say a word. They just open fire. The sound is deafening. Glass shatters. Blood sprays across the walls. Over 70 rounds fired in less than 30 seconds. German is killed instantly. His bodyguard is killed. Innocent shoppers dive behind counters. Children scream. It's absolute chaos. The hitmen walk out calmly, get into a getaway car, drive away like nothing happened. This becomes known as the Dadeland Mall Massacre. It's the beginning of the cocaine cowboy era. Miami becomes a war zone. The murder rate skyrockets. Bodies are found in cars, in canals, in dumpsters. Executions happen in restaurants, in nightclubs, in broad daylight on busy streets. And Griselda Blanco is at the center of all of it. She orders hits constantly, methodically, sometimes for business reasons, sometimes for personal reasons, sometimes for no reason at all except to send a message. She develops a signature killing method, motorcycle assassins, two men on a bike, driver and shooter. They pull up next to the target's car at a stoplight. The shooter empties a gun into the victim. They disappear into traffic before anyone can react. Quick, efficient, terrifying. This method becomes so associated with Colombian cartels that it's still used worldwide today. Griselda pioneered it. Her organization grows enormous. She employs hundreds of people: smugglers, pilots, boat captains, distributors, street dealers, enforcers, professional killers. She's making an estimated $80 million per month at her peak. She owns mansions, luxury cars, expensive jewelry. She throws parties with celebrities and corrupt politicians. She lives like royalty. But she's also completely paranoid, absolutely consumed by fear and suspicion. She trusts no one. She has her own people killed on the slightest suspicion of betrayal. Someone mentions her name to the wrong person? Dead. Someone makes a joke she doesn't like? Dead. Someone looks at her the wrong way at a party? Dead. She moves constantly. Different houses, different cars, different bodyguards. She sleeps with a gun under her pillow. Sometimes she doesn't sleep at all. Just stays up all night doing cocaine and watching surveillance cameras. Because Griselda knows something that most criminals don't fully understand until it's too late. When you're at the top, when you have that much money and power, everyone wants you dead. Your rivals want you dead. Law enforcement wants you in prison. And worst of all, your own people want to take your place. The higher you climb, the farther you fall. And Griselda Blanco is about to fall hard. Early 1980s. Griselda is at the absolute peak of her power. She controls the cocaine flow into Miami and much of the southeastern United States. Her connections to the Medellín cartel give her access to unlimited supply. Her distribution network is sophisticated and efficient. Law enforcement can't touch her because she's insulated by layers of people who don't even know her real name. She's essentially untouchable. But Griselda has a fatal weakness, one that will ultimately destroy her: her emotions. Griselda falls in love easily, intensely, obsessively, and when that love turns to jealousy or betrayal, people die. In the early 1980s, she meets a man named Dario Sepulveda. He's younger than her, handsome, charming. He works in the drug trade, but he's not particularly ambitious, not a killer like she is, just a guy trying to make money. Griselda becomes obsessed with him. She marries him, her third husband. They have a son together, Michael Corleone Blanco. Yes, she actually names her son after the character from The Godfather. That's how deep into this life she is. At first, Dario is happy. Why wouldn't he be? He's married to one of the richest, most powerful women in the criminal world. He has everything he could want: money, cars, houses, beautiful wife. But slowly he starts to realize what he's gotten himself into. He sees the violence, the murders, the paranoia. He watches Griselda order hits on people for minor disrespect. He sees her use cocaine heavily, become more and more unstable. He's terrified of her, absolutely terrified. In 1983, Dario makes a decision. He's leaving, taking their son Michael and going back to Colombia, getting away from Griselda before she kills him, like she killed her previous husbands. He doesn't tell her. He just disappears one day with the boy. When Griselda finds out, she loses her mind, completely loses it. How dare he leave her? How dare he take her son? Who does he think he is? She sends hitmen to Colombia immediately, professional killers, the best in her organization. Their orders are simple: find Dario, kill him, bring Michael back. It doesn't take long. They track Dario to Medellín, follow him for a few days, wait for the right moment. One afternoon, Dario is driving with young Michael in the car. The hitmen pull up alongside them. They open fire, multiple shots into the driver's side. Dario is killed instantly, shot to death, while his son sits in the passenger seat watching. Michael is maybe 4 years old, traumatized for life. The hitmen take Michael, bring him back to Griselda. She acts like nothing happened, like she didn't just have the father of her child murdered. She raises Michael herself, spoils him, tells him his father was weak, that he deserved what happened. This is who Griselda Blanco is, mother and monster. She'll kill anyone, even the father of her own child, even in front of that child. Loyalty to her is absolute. Betrayal is death, no exceptions. But by the mid-1980s, everything starts falling apart. The DEA has been building a case against her for years. They have informants inside her organization, people she thought were loyal, people she trusted as much as she trusted anyone. They're wiretapping her phones, following her movements, documenting her drug shipments, recording her ordering murders, and Griselda is making it easier for them. She's spiraling, using her own product heavily, cocaine, lots of it, every day. Her judgment is impaired. She's making irrational decisions. She orders hits on people who aren't even threats, just because she's paranoid. She's burning bridges with business partners and allies. People who helped her build her empire now want nothing to do with her because she's too dangerous, too unpredictable. Her sons are getting arrested. Her enforcers are flipping on her to get reduced sentences. Her smuggling routes are getting shut down. Her money is running out faster than it's coming in. The empire she built is crumbling, and she's too high and too paranoid to see it clearly. February 17th, 1985, Irvine, California. Griselda is hiding in a house under a fake name. She's gained a lot of weight from the cocaine use and stress. She barely looks like the beautiful, terrifying woman she used to be. DEA agents surround the house. They've been watching her for weeks. They know she's inside. They know she's armed. They expect a shootout. But when they breach the door, Griselda doesn't resist. She just stands there, hands up, exhausted, almost relieved. The Godmother goes down quietly. No gunfight, no dramatic last stand, just a tired, overweight woman who ran out of options. The charges are massive: drug trafficking conspiracy, racketeering, murder conspiracy. The DEA has evidence of dozens of murders she ordered. They have wiretaps, witness testimony, financial records. Some of her own people testify against her. People she thought were loyal, people she made rich. They turn on her to save themselves. The trial is a circus. Griselda tries everything. She attempts to seduce one of the prosecutors, wears low-cut dresses to court, flirts with him in front of the jury. It doesn't work. She smuggles a gun into the courtroom, a small pistol hidden in her underwear. Nobody knows why. Maybe she was planning to shoot the prosecutor, maybe the judge, maybe herself. She never uses it. Guards find it during a routine search. In the end, she's convicted. But here's the crazy part. The murder charges don't stick. Not enough evidence that would hold up in court. Too many witnesses too afraid to testify. Some of them dead under suspicious circumstances before the trial even starts. So Griselda Blanco, responsible for hundreds of murders, gets 15 years for drug trafficking, 15 years for running a billion-dollar cocaine empire. It seems like nothing, but for Griselda, it's the end of everything. Her organization falls apart without her. Her sons try to keep things going, but they're not their mother. They don't have her intelligence, her ruthlessness, her vision. One by one, her sons are killed or imprisoned. Dixon is murdered in Colombia. Osvaldo is murdered in Colombia. Uber is murdered in Colombia. All of them die violently, karma perhaps, or just the natural consequence of the life they chose. Only Michael survives, the son she took back after murdering his father. Griselda spends 15 years in federal prison. She keeps a low profile, claims to find religion, reads the Bible, writes letters to Michael, tells him she's changed, she's sorry for everything. She wants to be a good grandmother when she gets out, but everyone knows the truth. She's still the Godmother, even behind bars, even broken and defeated. And in 2004, she's released and deported to Colombia. Medellín, Colombia, 2004. Griselda Blanco returns to the city where she started. She's 61 years old now, barely recognizable from the beautiful, terrifying woman she used to be. She's overweight, gray hair, moves slowly. Looks like any other old woman in the neighborhood. She settles into a modest house, nothing like the mansions she used to own in Miami. Just a simple place where she can live quietly, fade into obscurity. She pretends to be a harmless grandmother, goes to market, cooks, watches television. Neighbors have no idea who she really is. The young people don't recognize her name, don't know the legend. But the old people remember. The ones who lived through the cocaine wars, the ones who lost family members to the violence. They remember the Godmother. And in the criminal underworld, people definitely remember. There are rumors about Griselda, whispers. Some say she still has millions hidden away, secret bank accounts, buried cash. Others say she's trying to make connections again, rebuild her network, get back in the game. But mostly people remember what she did. The bodies, the betrayals, the ruthlessness. Griselda Blanco made a lot of enemies over the years. And in the drug world, grudges don't fade, debts don't expire, scores get settled. Sometimes it takes years, sometimes decades, but they always get settled. Griselda knows this. She has to know. She's looking over her shoulder constantly, changing routines, being careful. But you can only run for so long. You can only hide for so long. September 3rd, 2012. 8 years after her return to Colombia. Griselda is 70 years old now. It's a Monday afternoon. She's at a butcher shop buying meat for dinner. Maybe Michael is visiting, maybe her grandchildren. She's thinking about family, about normal things. She pays for the meat, thanks the butcher, walks outside into the warm afternoon sun. The street is quiet. A few people walking, cars passing by. Normal day. Then she hears it, the sound of a motorcycle engine, getting closer, getting louder. Two men on a bike, both wearing helmets with dark visors, no license plates. Griselda probably knows what's happening, probably recognizes the method. After all, she invented it. This is how she killed so many people. Motorcycle assassins, quick, efficient, impossible to stop. The irony must hit her in that final second. The motorcycle pulls up right behind her. 2 shots, point-blank range, to the back of her head. Griselda Blanco crumples to the pavement. The bag of meat falls from her hands. Blood pools around her body, spreads across the sidewalk. People scream. Someone calls for an ambulance, but it's too late. She's already gone. The motorcycle disappears into traffic. The killers are never caught. Never identified, just like the hundreds of people Griselda had killed the same way. Poetic justice, karma, the universe balancing itself, whatever you want to call it. The Godmother is dead, killed using the exact method she pioneered, killed in the same city where she started her criminal career 50 years earlier. The world doesn't mourn. The news barely covers it. Most people have forgotten who she was, and the ones who remember are glad she's gone. Michael Corleone Blanco, her surviving son, claims his mother had changed, that she regretted her past, that she found peace in her final years. Maybe that's true. Maybe it's what he needs to believe, but the evidence suggests otherwise. Griselda Blanco lived a violent life from beginning to end. She chose this path. She embraced it. She thrived in it. And ultimately, it consumed her. So what do we make of Griselda Blanco? How do we understand a woman like this? Was she a product of her environment? A poor girl from the slums who did what she had to do to survive? A victim of poverty and abuse who had no choice but to turn to crime? Or was she simply evil, born with something broken inside her? A person who enjoyed hurting others, who felt no remorse, no empathy, no conscience. The truth is probably more complicated than either of those narratives. Yes, Griselda grew up in horrific conditions. poverty, abuse, neglect, no opportunities, no safety net. In that environment, crime probably seemed like the only way out, the only way to have any kind of life. But plenty of people grow up in poverty and abuse and don't become mass murderers. They don't build cocaine empires. They don't order the deaths of hundreds of people. Griselda made choices, conscious choices. She chose violence over and over again. She killed her first victim when she was 11 years old. She killed her husbands, her business partners, her lovers, people who disrespected her, people who betrayed her, people who were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. She used pregnant women and children as drug mules. She turned Miami into a war zone. She destroyed countless families, ruined countless lives. And by all accounts, she didn't lose sleep over any of it. She didn't express remorse. She didn't apologize. She seemed to genuinely believe she was justified in everything she did. That's not survival. That's not self-defense. That's something else, something darker. Male drug lords like Pablo Escobar, El Chapo Guzman, Frank Lucas are famous, infamous. Their stories get told over and over. Movies, TV shows, documentaries, books. They're treated almost like folk heroes in some circles. Robin Hood figures who stood up to the system, who built empires from nothing. But Griselda Blanco? Most people have never heard of her. And when they do hear about her, the reaction is different, more visceral, more disturbed. Maybe because we expect men to be violent, to be ruthless, to be criminals. It fits our understanding of the world. We're conditioned to accept it on some level. But a woman, a mother, ordering murders, building a drug empire, killing her own husband in front of her child? That challenges our assumptions, makes us uncomfortable, forces us to confront the reality that women can be just as cruel, just as calculating, just as monstrous as men. Maybe more so, because they're not expected to be. Griselda understood this. She used people's assumptions against them, used her appearance, her gender, the fact that nobody suspected a woman could be running major cocaine operations. She was a pioneer in many ways, one of the first women to reach the highest levels of organized crime, one of the first to prove that gender didn't matter in the drug trade. Only results, only money, only power. But what did she gain from all of it? Money? Yes. Billions over her career. But she lost it all. Spent it on lawyers, lost it to asset forfeiture, watched her empire crumble. Power? Yes, for a while. But she ended up in prison, deported, living in fear for the last years of her life. Family? She lost almost all her children. 3 sons murdered, husbands dead. The only survivor is Michael, and he grew up traumatized, raised by a mother who murdered his father in front of him. Legacy? She's mostly forgotten. A footnote in the history of the cocaine wars, less famous than the male drug lords she competed against. In the end, what did Griselda Blanco have? What did she achieve? She built an empire on blood and cocaine. She lived violently, and she died the exact same way. Murdered on a street corner, just another body, just another victim of the life she chose. The world she created consumed her. The violence she spread came back to her. The methods she pioneered were used to kill her. And maybe that's the only justice there is. Not legal justice, not moral justice, just the natural consequence of living that kind of life. You live by the gun, you die by the gun. You build an empire on murder, you die murdered. You spread terror, you die terrified. Griselda Blanco proved that women can be just as dangerous as men, just as ruthless, just as successful in organized crime. But she also proved something else. That no matter how powerful you become, no matter how much money you make, no matter how much fear you create, if you live a violent life, you will die a violent death. There's no escape, no retirement, no happy ending, just blood, and eventually your own. The godmother is dead, the empire is gone, the legend fades, and in the end, she's just another cautionary tale about the price of power, the cost of ambition, the inevitable fate of those who choose violence as their path. Griselda Blanco was many things: a criminal, a murderer, a mother, a pioneer, a monster. But most of all, she was human, flawed, damaged, driven by the same things that drive all of us: the need to survive, the desire for power, the fear of being weak. She just took those drives to their absolute extreme and paid the ultimate price. So was she born evil or made into a monster? Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe the question itself is wrong. Maybe Griselda Blanco was just a person who made terrible choices over and over again until those choices defined her, consumed her, destroyed her. And maybe that's the real lesson of her story. We all make choices every day, small ones, big ones, and those choices add up. They build on each other. They create the life we live. Griselda chose violence. She chose greed. She chose power over everything else. And in the end, those choices killed her. The godmother built an empire, and that empire buried her. That's the story of Griselda Blanco, the woman who proved you didn't need to be a man to become a monster, who showed the world that evil has no gender, that cruelty knows no limits. She lived, she killed, she died, and the world moved on without her. If you want more stories about history's most ruthless criminals, subscribe. There are plenty more dark tales to tell. And leave a comment. Do you think Griselda Blanco was born evil, or was she made into a monster by her circumstances? Thanks for watching.